Okay, we're live. Hi guys! Welcome back to Meet Me in Taipei. This is Janice.
And this is Jacqueline.
We're so happy to have you guys back for our 100th episode. So it's actually kind of crazy, and I didn't think like we would have reached the 100th episode this soon. And it's kind of bittersweet, not gonna lie. And we wanted to kind of give like a surprise episode, you know, like recording ourselves talking to each other so we can kind of see like what behind the scenes, like a groove of what we like, how we are as a team. I just woke up, so my apologies. I'm very glad to talk with Jacqueline. So this is how we record our conversations every single day. We'll show you a little bit more.
We usually just like call each other. I'll be in exact same outfit.
Yeah, same. I'm usually in this state, so we're trying to keep it like really authentic.
And we will be kind of going over what we already discussed about the episode titles that we're going to talk about, and then we'll go straight into execution.
So I think the introduction, oh hi! Look at our setup. Let me show you guys my setup. This is how we usually record in like my janky ass setup with like this box.
It has the natural sunlight, so that's even better.
It's 9 a.m. right now, hence I just woke up. So initially when we established this Meet Me in Taipei back in, I believe like 2020, right? Yeah, it's been like nearly 2-3 years. It's been pretty incredible, not gonna lie. I think we started off thinking like, oh, this is like a really fun project, and then we can talk about like our daily lives and kind of talk about the third kid culture and implore what what home means to us, just because like we move around so much and we have different interpretations of home. Jacqueline, what do you think? Like, what does it mean to you now?
Okay, when you first asked me about this project, I was super down to do it, but I wasn't thinking much about what's gonna happen later on. It was more like a fun project, and about like I was kind of bored stage, so I was like, you know what, let's just jump into do whatever is fun back then. And so a lot of people were just like, they thought that was like a very interesting platform where they can find like a sense of belongings, and later on we kind of just like start targeting towards international students. We received people asking like, can you guys share about how do you apply to grad school or college and stuff like that?
I remember.
Yeah, or like what is the life like when you're having homesick in America and stuff like that. So we thought that was really interesting that someone even brought it up and are actually curious about what we think. So we thought this was a pretty successful project, and so we're still trying to expand more about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I agree with Jacqueline. When we made this this podcast, we weren't really thinking long term, or like we were kind of, but we didn't think it would continue for like 3 years, and it's purely out of like just, you know, like the passion for this project that, you know, like continuing this. And I think aside from the initial thought about talking about like third kid culture, we really expanded to other types of conversations and opened up a lot of like dialogue along the way, and especially just, you know, me and her learning new things about each other, like ourselves as well. So I think it really like helped us grow, and we learned a lot of new things on the way too. So I think that's pretty cool. What do you think it will become in the future, since like, you know, we've been doing this for so long, like we kind of know the dynamic and routine of how to produce a podcast? Do you have any, like, I don't want to say vision because it's so like corporate, but do you have any thoughts?
Oh yeah, we're having an interview right now.
I know. This is why.
In terms of like vision, I believe there are a lot of topics that we can talk about. For instance, that TikTok might be banned. Okay, if this actually happened, I feel like it's gonna open a lot more conversations in terms of like how teenagers are gonna find other platforms, and also content creators where they're gonna be at later on. But I think today, Janice and I, we have something that we wanted to talk about. I was wondering, like, what do you think about this new AI tool?
GPT. Yeah, there we go. I don't use it, as you can tell. Because like, I mean, okay, I do use it, but for very like small, for entertainment purposes. I've also had a lot of talk about this with like my friends, the people around me, like who are close to me. And mainly because like Taiwanese media is like just, it's AI news every single day. So everybody's talking about it, like, so it's kind of brainwashing us with my demise, because I don't like the news doing that, especially Taiwanese news. But I think ChatGPT with all the AI tools going on, I think it won't, because like the biggest scare for people right now is it replacing the majority of the workforce. I don't think so. I think there is a possibility of AI replacing a number of jobs, such as like accountants or data analysts. But in terms of like writing, yes, it will replace writing to some extent. But I also think it won't replace the human aspect of us working, basically. So AI can write really simple and straightforward tasks, but in terms of creativity, that's honestly only something that we can do. So if anything, it'll actually weed out the quality of work that people do, and it'll save the jobs, because AI and us, we kind of need to learn to work together in order to kind of coexist. So I don't think, long story short, like I don't think it's going to replace any jobs anytime soon, but as you guys all know, like I do think we would have to learn how to use it. And job descriptions right now, they're already asking for candidates to learn how to use like ChatGPT. Yeah, like what do you think about this, Jacqueline?
So I think it might replace like the majority of it for a short amount of time. And once people start realizing that it is a robot in the end, it is just technology. We need humans' creativity, we need humans' brain to function and to operate things. That's when I think the ChatGPT will like die down. Yeah, my friend actually just like inserted her essay and to ask the tool to like, can you rephrase whatever I want to write in my kind of writing style, and the system actually did. So I thought that was really scary that even the computer knows exactly what kind of writing styles you have and stuff. But in terms of creativity, because I feel like that's where the industry that I want to go towards too, I don't think a robot can really think of something that's creative enough. You can call me biased, but I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, even if it is going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen for a while. I don't think it's a danger for a lot of jobs, especially creative wise, because I think creativity is still something that we create, and AI, like it can only do so much. So as of right now, I don't think it's a danger for our workforce at all. Maybe the more technical stuff, but not the creative stuff.
Also kind of reminded me of that movie. I think it's called Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I know about that movie.
I've heard of that movie like 2 years ago, and I didn't really watch it. I think I only watched like the intro of it, and I thought that was really scary because everyone was like very immersed in that VR world and stuff. I'm just very worried for like the next generation. I don't know. I kind of miss the traditional way of doing things.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is when I know I'm getting a little bit old. I prefer the traditional way of doing things. That's what my parents say. Workforce is definitely going to change sooner, well, right now anyway, but I still think people should learn to coexist with technology, just because, like it's changing rapidly. Guys, talking about this, Jacqueline, you're graduating in like literally less than a week or two. What do you think about this, and like how do you think you're gonna approach this situation, and like you looking for jobs?
One thing it did help is that when it comes to rewording resumes, for instance, like asking them to write a cover letter for you, I think that kind of helped. But whenever like I thought of that, I kind of questioned how, like, I just kind of question the industry, like, do you really want to hire someone that relies on ChatGPT for like cover letters and resume? I don't think human beings are able to work with a robot like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think because the workforce and jobs are it's very different from like before or when I graduated. People really have to, like, new graduates really have to adapt really well. I think there's a lot of like challenges up ahead for young graduates and just people overall to like get a job and understand what the job description and responsibilities are. And it's like one thing, it's like the boss may tell you, oh, don't use AI, like it's against our rules, it staggers our SEO ranking. And on the other hand, it's like, oh, you can't join us unless you know how to use AI. So it's very contradictory, and I think especially the older generation, they don't like it a lot, AI. And again, it's a very traditional way of thinking, but it also causes kind of like whiplash. Sometimes it's kind of just 一下要一下不要的.
Because apparently like a few years ago, people kind of made the robotic pet. Do you know that thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember I read a book about it, and then basically they were trying to make this robot into like a human being pretty much. But it's because technology wasn't modern enough. That's why there are so many issues and glitches for the robotic human being. And then so they kind of made it into a pet, where people might think, oh, I mean, it's a pet overall, so it is okay to have issues and glitches. Kind of like worded in a different, like kind of branded in a different way. So this thing actually came out when I was in college, or even long ago before I was in college. Like in the future, maybe like 50 years later, then we will have like a flying parking lot or something. I'm just...
Yeah, I wish.
I do think like I do look forward to things that like AI and technology can create, but at the same time it's also kind of scary because I now find myself like I'm not somebody who understands all scopes of it. Whereas like a few years ago I might be. Just because things are so rapidly changing, and yeah, the younger generation is understanding more and more easily. And they're embracing it too, so it's even more crucial for us to kind of like get on it. Just my 2 cents.
So yeah, these are my thoughts that Janice and I we have on AI, the ChatGPT thing, and we wanted to like bring upon as a topic for our episode 100 as a special edition. Make sure you guys tune in on every Sunday night at 9 p.m. If it's video, it's usually on YouTube, and if it's just audio form, you can find us at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So
Let me show you guys Jacqueline. Hi! Oh.
I see myself, yeah.
This is how I see her every week.
But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope to see you guys again. Bye!
Bye! 你看我的鼻子好红哦。你爱你会